Hello and welcome to the Through the Decades February 2026 Premodern Monthly, coming to you from Through the Decades in Louisville, Kentucky. This month we had 13 players come out to compete for a pack of Urza's Saga, and as you can see on the screen, we also have a collection of wonderful Dr. T themed altered Psychotogs for the top 8. But today we'll be watching the round 1 matchup between Austin on the most bog standard Hermit Feb deck you'll ever see, but his opponent will be Josh on a very spicy green-white slide deck. But we'll get to that match after a word from our sponsor. Through the Decades, in conjunction with the Ohio River Boas, are proud to bring you Grand Prix Louisville on June 6, 2026. If you ever find yourself missing not only the pre-modern era of Magic the Gathering, but the old tournament structure, this will be the event for you. The entry fee for the main event is $60 and will include a specially designed Grand Prix Louisville playmat and a stamped card. Prize support for the main event will be $5,000, paying out to the top 16, along with a Magic the Gathering themed championship belt for the winner. Side events will include some retro booster drafts, including Mirage Block, Tempest Block, and Urza's Block, along with a Pauper Win-a-Duel giving out a Tundra to first place and a Bayou for second place. The main event will max out at 300 players, so seating is limited as we throw one of the largest celebrations of the pre-modern format to date. So, don't miss your chance to be part of pre-modern Magic history and sign up by scanning the QR code on the screen. All right, and here we have Austin Zachary, our co-commentator here, uh, on his full English breakfast list. Now, Austin, talk about what you played.
Yeah, so I decided for February monthly, I decided to play Feb. So this is a deck that has been floating around, but I've never taken it to anything like this before. And I kind of knew the lines that I was going for, but I kind of learned a little bit on the fly here. So the basic idea of Feb is to get down a Hermit Druid or one of the Survival of the Fittest, and basically just become a combo deck from there. A lot of all the combos go through the card Vola Shapeshifter, which becomes a copy of the top card of your graveyard. So you could get really tricksy with a lot of the stuff going on here. There's two main combos, the Devourer and Triskelion combos. One of them where you could just make your Volrath Shapeshifter very big using the Phyrexian Devourer activated ability, with that being the top card. And before the clause to destroy it after it getting to 7 power happens, you put a Triskelion on the top of your deck, and those counters can be used as ammunition for Triskelion, so you can shoot your opponent to death with that, or you can go through a little more of a convoluted line with Psychotog and Karmic Guide and Achroma to essentially have a Volrath Shapeshifter attack for roughly about 40 power by eating your entire graveyard out with a Psychotog to the point where you have an Achroma on top. So your Volrath Shifter is an Achroma with about 20 or so Psychotog counters on it for the turn. So this is just something I wanted to try out for this this event, and it was a lot of fun. So it'll be a fun time talking about this deck as we see all the lines that I have coming up in these upcoming games.
Coming up, and I do appreciate you committing to the bit and playing Hermit Fed in our Fed monthly. Now, uh, first of all, there are so many lines, and we can't even begin to talk about them at all. But yeah, this is certainly a combo deck, and yeah, we can get into the nitty gritty of those lines if we see them, because we could be here for days. And your sideboard, pretty straightforward, pretty bog standard. If I remember correctly, you added in the Hypnox because it was incredibly spicy.
Yeah, the Hypnox is spicy. I just kind of know our affinity as a store to play a little more blue white control style. So having a Hypnox where I can just I can have that the top card and play a Volrath Shapeshifter and be able to just exile my opponent's entire hand, and then you could change the Volrath Shapeshifter to something else that's not Hypnox. And even if they kill Volrath Shapeshifter, that hand will not come back. So it's really just a mind twist for whenever I need it.
Just casual 3 mana mind twist. Seems fair.
Oh yeah.
All right, and now we do have your opponent over here, though. Now that's going to be the good guy. for today, obviously, because I cannot say that anyone on hFEB is ever the good guy. So we've got Josh over here on Astral Slide, which is abusing a card called Astral Slide. It's a 2 and a white enchantment. Whenever a player cycles a card, you may exile a target creature and then you return it to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. So you can do things like blink. It has a lot of creatures with enter the battlefield triggers like Wall of Blossoms, Armancer, Cartographer. You can also blink your Karmic Guide to regrow dead creatures or flip over a morphed Exalted Angel. And then just a couple other good cards here. Let's see. Yeah, Decree of Justice, a great cycling card that makes more creatures. Renewed Faith, and you've got some cycling lands. It's all pretty cycling themed. It's not as all in as the Fluctuator deck, but it does have a lot of synergies with the card Astral Slide. And then its sideboard, nothing too terrifying for you, but just some more 187 creatures and a couple other color hosers, it looks like. But we can see exactly how these two decks do match up against each other as we get to that match right now.
I'm going to 6, Ben. I don't know.
And Austin here being very friendly and very kind to let us know that he's gone to 6. As we've got some opening hands here. Looks like Josh has gone to 7, hasn't molded also. Let's see here, you get a therapy off.
Yep. I named Swords to Plowshares. If I remember this hand correctly, I think I have a pretty quick Hermit Druid, so I just wanted to make sure that it survives and does not get plowed.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that makes perfect sense. And Josh being a good guy over here and making sure that he plays open. Again, that's the thing
Yeah.
to generally do it through the decades, so gotta love that. Let's see, and yeah, that was a pretty quick Hermit Druid. He's got about a turn, unless you don't have a way to bring back that Karmic Guide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in this situation,
Shapeshifter, excuse me.
yeah, in this situation, I can mill my entire library out with Hermit Druid. I do not have any basic lands in this deck, and it looks like I do have an Unearth already in hand. So I can flip my entire library over. How Hermit Druid is, they all go to the library at the same, or to the graveyard at the same time, so I can actually order my graveyard, which is very important in this combo. So you see me sitting apart the Achroma Psychotog line. So we'll go through that as I go through this. This will be ultimately a turn 3 kill with this setup now.
Now, I'm hoping, beyond all hope, that you have another untapped land in your hand, because with that Gemstone Mine at 1, you would have that go to the graveyard and immediately ruin all shenanigans there.
Yeah.
So let's see here. There's an Unearth. Oh, Austin.
Yeah.
Austin, my dude. There we go. Okay,
I did it.
Okay.
There we go. Yep.
Okay.
As I don't, I'm getting there. Don't worry. So this is an interesting thing here. As Varrock Shapeshifter comes in, it will slightly see this Karmic Guide before the Unearth sees this. So it will actually be a Karmic Guide for a split second to get the trigger of it. So that's what I'm kind of explaining here. It goes up top. Okay. And then I will pull the Psychotog with the second Karmic Guide, which is the actual Karmic Guide here. I will then use a Cabal Therapy to put a Psychotog on top. So, okay, it's like I name Wrath of God there. So now with Varrock Shapeshifter being a Psychotog, I am going to eat basically all those cards that are in my hand for Psychotog. Then I'll eat Psychotog itself, making it where a perma will be top card. Attack for a lot. Yeah.
That's a pretty concise way of explaining that. Now it is a weird rules interaction that the Valra Shapeshifter is a karmic guide for a moment. But that's actually because the last thing a card does when the spell resolves is go to the graveyard. So the creature is in play with the card still on the stack. That's why it's able to see the karmic guide and be a karmic guide for a moment to then bring in the other one and do all the other nonsense.
Yep,
But
exactly.
let's go ahead here and take a look at our sideboard and see exactly what we think both of our players are going to be bringing in. All right, now, Austin, looking back at your list here, I see your sideboard. What are you thinking you're bringing in here?
Yeah. So with this being round two, I did know what my opponent was on. I did know that he was playing Astral Slide, so I brought in the Naturalizes and the Ray of Revelation to help fight through that. I also brought in the Hypnox, knowing that he's gonna have his hand pretty stocked the entire game. So I wanted to do that to just take his hand out, so he can't cycle anything anymore, and it really helps me out there. Um, for what I took out of my deck, I took out the two Elder Spirit Guides. Just that is just a speed card only, and I'm not really trying to go as fast as I can. I'm just trying to be as consistent as I can in this. I took out the Battlefield Scrounger as well. And I was also trying to think of the third card or the fourth card that I took out. I honestly don't remember. I could see myself taking out a Birds of Paradise. Just again, it's not a speed matchup, so just kind of just trim one of those. I think that was probably going to be the best thing that I did there.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good idea. Yeah, this isn't a deck you want to beat quickly. Astral Slide is very grindy, so you want to be able to play a little bit of the longer game. They're going to be better at that game, but absolutely you want to make sure you can play a little to the longer game because you're going to be there anyway.
Yeah.
Now, taking a look over here at Josh's list, I am seeing here definitely two Tormod's Crypts that should be coming in. And then otherwise, it really depends on if you want to try and hedge against more enchantments. That, obviously, your survival of the fittest is a very powerful engine and something that needs to be off the table as soon as possible. If he did prioritize that, then he might want to bring in Monk Realist and Aura Shards, I think. If he didn't want to prioritize that, and also he may not have seen, he didn't see the survivals, and he's not one of our regulars in our pre-modern events, so I'm not entirely sure what his experience with this deck or not. So I don't want to say that he doesn't know about it, if very well he does, but it could be up to that as well. Now, cuts I would personally make. I think those decrees can get right out. They're a little too slow and just don't do much, especially when you're just trying to combo. And also, I think the renewed faith, you can trim those to form.
Yes. I would agree.
All right, well then, in that case, with some pretty easy sideboard plans here, let's take a look and see what our players did when we get back to game two right now.
Uh-oh. Something's missing.
Well, that sounds like you don't like this hand here at all, but somehow you keep it. This is a Mold of 6 for you and a keep for 7 for Josh. So
Yeah, I'll take you. All right. Start us off.
let's see how this goes for
Well,
game two.
yeah, all I'm gonna say is I did pretty well with my Mulda 6 the first game, but a Tormod's Crypt right off the rip here. Gonna definitely be a handprint on me.
Yeah, that's a good cause for another right there.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's see here. So we've got a Wall of Blossoms, one of his many 187 enter the battlefield trigger creatures that he can abuse with his Astral Slide. If he does have that, now he is missing his second color, hopefully, for his sake. I don't see anything yet, although I do see Tranquil Thicket.
Survival the fittest. Yep, go.
All right, you just jam a turn 2 survival, so that seems pretty good. Let's see, what's in our hand here? Croson Reclamation. Is that a squee in your hand? Is that?
Let's see. I'm not sure. I think that may be a Croesus Catacombs.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't cycle at all, mainly because I don't think I had a creature at this point. I only had the Birds of Paradise. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Look at me. I'm cycling Unearths right now just to try to find a creature to get my engine going. So
And I'm sorry, I may have just remembered something. You said Croesus's Catacombs? The
Yeah.
the blue, black, red land?
Yep.
Or, excuse
We're
me,
a
the
full
Nicol
5-star
Bolas
deck
land,
in this one.
excuse me.
Oh yeah.
I would have said Grixis, but I've heard some grief for using Bant or Jund, so we'll call it Nicol
Yeah.
Bolas.
There we go. Yeah.
All right,
It
and
looks like
let's. Oh,
I just have a bunch of lands right now in hand.
that is unfortunate for you. It looks like your opponent here has resolved a Sylvan Library Office and a second Wall of Blossoms, so he's playing things. He's having fun. And let's
Oh yeah.
see, a Cartographer, a Dust Bowl, and a Swords on top. It looks like, oh no, he is a little shy on his white mana.
Yep. So we're currently sitting in the zero creature versus 0 white. So we're both having a little bit of a struggle right
All right, well, that is a face down Exalted Angel. I'm pretty sure I didn't see any other. No, no other creatures. So that is most certainly an Exalted Angel.
now. Oh yeah. Yep. And I'm sitting here just waiting on a creature with 6 mana out at this point. The Tormod's Crypt will stop me from comboing, but I can really start to get an engine rocking and rolling with
Yeah,
getting a creature here.
yeah. Now, I will be honest. I think, yeah, I was about to say, it's time to pay some life, my friend.
Oh yeah.
You've got to clear out. I think he picked up a Cartographer and a Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's both definitely not the most impressive cards on this board, but you definitely want to start clearing them off the top.
Yeah.
I have a 1 in green enchantment. That's obviously Sylvan Library. Wait, that's not Sylvan Library? Uh-oh.
And you're over there trying to sell me on having a Sylvan Library in play.
Oh yeah, and definitely would not mind that right now.
No.
Activate survival.
So it looks like I found. Oh, there's a squee. Didn't even need to go grab it with the first activation.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Beginning of your upkeep, it comes back to your hand, right?
Correct. Yes.
So it's very interesting with him having a Tormod's Crypt. I don't know when, honestly, the right time to crack it here. Do you wait for me to try to go off a little bit, or do you just get a squee out of the way now? So that's going to be a question that Josh is going to have to answer.
You have a bunch of cards in hand, like 5 or 6 or something. Yeah. That's a lot.
So you could go get a Volrap Shapeshifter, cast that, and then set yourself up very easily to win next turn.
Yeah.
But on the flip side,
Nope.
you do have to consider also that your opponent has had an active Sylvan Library, and importantly, has not, or has 3 fresh-ish cards on top of the deck, and maybe a white source away from Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah, and that makes a good sense too. Obviously, it looks like I went and grabbed Triskelion because I knew I could just cast it right here, and it would be the biggest thing on the board. And just shoot, and just shoot an Exalted Angel down now before that does flip over, because once that flips, I don't have an answer for it.
Yeah.
So
Now, the other good
Okay.
news is you having a counter left on that Triskelion means that you can save it from a Swords to Plowshares
yes,
in case someone wants to try and stop one of the combos. Because if that went away, then you would have to be only reliant on the graveyard, which would mean you could not win without the Triskelion. So
Yep.
that's... Without getting rid of that crypt, excuse me.
yeah.
It's in French, so if you need to know anything, I'll let you know. Okay.
Yeah, and that is graciously given to me by my co-host here. That is a French Triskelion, so I'll just tell him if needs any rulings, I can help out there.
Always happy to help.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. So he is... So he found his white source. And to also compliment him, he does have good taste in planes.
Oh yes, I agree.
Now, I would tease that these are the Dominator remastered ones, but it's still the correct artwork, and the frame is beautiful. It's very nostalgic. I'm loving every part of it. So
I'm gonna go ahead and exile.
Yeah, no complaints from me.
yeah. All right, so we
Okay.
are getting rid of that graveyard. Although, hmm,
Yeah, and he's gonna start blowing up some of my lands as well.
okay.
It looks like. I don't think I hate getting rid of the graveyard here. At this point, we know that he has a Swords to Plowshares in hand, so he is kind of covered in that way. He probably has a lot more than just Swords to Plowshares that we haven't seen yet. So this is me taking my Animate Dead, doing what old Legacy players, our favorite thing to do is animating dead our opponent's creatures. So that Exalted Angel is now on my side, and I'm going to be hopefully trying to ride that guy to victory.
I love seeing that. Now, on the flip side, if he does have an Astro Slide, okay, as I said, if he got the Astro Slide, he could absolutely have blinked out the creature and
yeah,
brought it back on his side, which would have been just disgusting.
Oh yeah, the calculator risks I took there. Yeah. No, we just have a Wrath of God. Shot him for 1, and now we're back to square one. Back in the old creature waiting room on my side.
Yeah, you're gonna have to play a lot more fair, considering that you no longer have access to your squee there.
Yeah. The good old hardcast Karmic Guide. And here is me, yeah.
So I will target. I assume you're targeting the Exalted Angel. So I guess
Yeah.
you target the.
Yeah, they're okay. Yeah, so I was about to say. So
Yeah,
it looks like you guys are kind of shortcutting here. He's gonna target
a
something.
little bit, yeah.
I'll just hit that.
And then yeah.
So that shuffles back into your library.
Yep, and it just shovels back in.
Now you did give him a free shuffle off of his Sylvan Library, but I think that's still worth it, considering that you don't have to deal with an unmorphed Exalted Angel.
Oh yeah, I'll take that trade every day.
It's getting weird. It took me forever.
That is an apt description of the matchup right there.
Oh yeah.
Survival to fittest. I will pitch an Necroma. I will grab a Vorak Shapeshifter.
Ah, yes, the old
Okay.
beatdown plan.
No.
Oh yeah.
I have a Necroma, but he's just gonna shift. But you're at 11, so it's like it's not yet. So I will
So
cast that.
in this, I sometimes enjoy taking getting the Karmic Guide out of the grave or out of the deck first, and then Shapeshifter, bring back Guide, bring back a Chroma, so you don't have to worry about Shapeshifter being in a Chroma, and you can continue to make it into other things, and have a big dumb beater coming across the table.
Yeah, and that's definitely something. Looking at it now, I could have done that as well. Possibly even grabbing a Psychototh there as well to eat, but
It's that top card, right? I believe that's what it is. Okay, yeah, you're good. No worries.
yeah.
You can't even take 8 to get out of it.
Right. I'll put 2 back.
Sure.
Yeah, this is looking pretty good for you, I will not lie.
Yeah, but we do know that he has the swords in his hand, so this is only gonna.
Yeah, unfortunately,
This sword
you do not
shapeshift
have
is only
a,
lasted.
yeah, unfortunately, I don't have another creature or any way to give it hexproof, so this is going to hurt. Oh, okay.
Especially with an Afterslide coming down too, yeah.
All right, boys, we be sliding now.
Oh yeah.
Taking a look back at your list, do you have?
It's me throwing mine.
Okay, you
Nice.
have Ray of Revelation and Naturalize. That's fine. But there's no...
Yep.
I will put.
You don't have a Monk Realist, which is less fortunate.
Oh, yeah.
I do have something in your turn.
Sure.
Swords.
You have to pay for that.
So I gain 6.
No, and there's the swords we knew about.
Cycle on it.
You've decided that a random card is better than a Birds of Paradise back in play. I can't blame
Yeah.
you on that one.
Go.
It looks like I
There
still
are-
just have 3 lands at this
Yeah.
point now too. Yeah.
It looks like a survival and 2 lands, I think.
Okay.
I could be wrong. You are not being very camera friendly.
I am not.
Yeah, no, that is a
Yep,
survival.
that is
in
a
your hand there. Okay, so it is a City of Brass, what looks like a Land of War Waste, and a survival. It looks like our slide player, Josh, here.
Looks like he found a Kroskin Tusker, and that's going to
Tusker
be
one.
a.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that'll be a big boy that I get to deal with sooner, probably later than later. I think I found the trike again that I brought back with the flashback Crossing Reclamation. It goes right back into the graveyard.
Ah, yes, the real life shuffler bug.
Oh yeah.
Now, the good news here for
So-
you is that this is a creature he does not want to slide.
Yes. So that's.
Go ahead.
I kind of did it that way as well, thinking that it's like you definitely don't want to have to slide this Voref. I could just shoot him 3 times, slide it, and then it comes back, gets its 3 counters again, and then that'd be all she wrote.
So we're cycling the Tusker here.
Cut to deal like.
He is allowed to slide a creature.
Cycle.
Yes.
Target that.
I will shoot you 3 times. Yes.
So he does slide that out, goes to 2.
Yes.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So on the flip side, he does have Dust Bowl to be able to turn your land
Yeah.
into, like, put that in the graveyard. So therefore, your trike is in the or the top card of your graveyard. So there is that at least for you. But it looks like all of our concerns here are going to be gone because there's a Tormod's Crypt right there.
Yeah, it's like from what I remember, he had a crypt right after this. So
That is a fortunate top deck there.
yeah,
Plains. Crypt.
Sure.
And that crypt hit. Oh, that crypt hitting your Chroma and your trike. You are
Yeah.
out of combo lines, my friend. Now we are just at find creatures and beat them in the face with them, which
Yeah.
seems incredibly easy when your opponent has Astral Slide in play.
yeah, and a grip full of white cards as well.
Yeah, this
No.
is...
Knowing that some of them are Wrath of Gods or Swords of Plowshares, and the second that a Exalted Angel hits the table, we are gonna be
0-1.
up a creek without a paddle.
Go turn. Draw.
Well, good news is Palancron still beats things to death.
Oh yeah, don't worry, we will get there. So here's me attacking Shapeshifter. I can discard a card for 2 out of my hand, or flip it with Survival of the Fittest. So I do this just to keep him honest, to do something. Okay. And he's also cycling Renew Faith. Or
Oh no, he's hard casting that Renewed Faith, my
Yeah.
friend. He
Yeah,
has
so-
decided to go into a much larger life total.
Oh yeah.
Or decided that
Yeah, there's-
4 life is more important than an extra card.
I think I would probably agree. And that was me looking at my exiles, saying, "Okay, what lines do I have left?" And well, fortunately for me, all of, all the combo lines are gone, so we're just now on idiot beatdowns.
And your idiots are, at this point, Hermit Druid. You cut the Spirit Guides. You cut the
Yeah.
Scrounger. You still have
Knox,
Karmic Guide,
Palinchron.
Palancron, Devour the Fairway, Psychotog, and the Hypnox. Looking at your list right quick, so.
I will cast Palancron.
And here's me finding the Palancron.
Astral sliding a Palancron makes me so happy to think about.
Oh yeah.
Go.
Now, Palancron is actually in there for some pretty slick lines with Valrash Shapeshifter, where you can get that into play for free because you discard the Palancron first, and then tap 3 lands, untap 3 lands, and then you can go get your Devour and Triskelion one after the other.
Yeah. That's the normal way. This is very much the plan B on the Palancron.
Buddy, this is plan
hFEB
F.
does not want to be in this. Oh yeah, it's like hFEB does not want to be in this long of a game where I'm having to cast a Palancron. Yep, and here's me returning them back to hand as well.
So you've got the return. Your opponent looks like he's thinking about doing something, but it's not a Swords to Plowshares, and even if it was, you'd have the 4 mana to return it again. So that Palancron is pretty fairly insulated against any type of removal or sweepers there.
Yep, and here he is again.
Apparently
so I did
keep
in. Yeah. Looks like I did keep in one of them.
Well, you disagree with past you, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's weird. I don't like getting Psychotog here because Astral Slide just keeps blinking him out.
Yeah. Very much invalidates that card. Yes. I think I see me bringing up the Hypnox to the front right now. I also had a Karmic Guide, I think, in the short list right now.
Now, we did not have open deck lists at this event, so you don't know how many crypts he has, so obviously you didn't know at this point that he was out of Tormod's crypts. But if you did, you could have put Hypnox in the graveyard, then gotten a Shapeshifter, cast it for 3. Oh.
Yeah.
Never mind, you are just going for that play, and I can't disagree with it.
As we can see, I actually screwed this part up. I'm definitely gonna have to own that here. I forget that Hypnox says if you cast it from your hand, you get to do the thing. So this play that I'm doing here actually doesn't work, and I think I realized it right as I was casting Karmic Guide. So I am going to be bringing back I'm bringing back this Shapeshifter, but this doesn't work because I'm not casting the Shapeshifter from my hand. Yep. So there's me figuring it out that I messed this play up. But you live and you learn.
There we go.
Yeah, there's me realizing my my mistakes.
A little bit of a blunder there, but
oh yes, definitely.
We live, we learn.
Oh yeah. So now I have just I just have an 8/8 on the table now, with a 4/5 and a 2/2. So the beatdown plan slowly coming together, but with an Astral Slide, this is going to get very hairy.
I will choose not to blink anything. Sure. I'll cycle another one, choosing not to blink anything.
Alright, so he's electing not to cycle or not to blink anything, as he's saying.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He sounds like he's having a bad time over there, and now that he holds up his hand a little bit more, I can see why. It's a lot of lands there.
Yeah, a lot of lands on his side.
I'm sure he would love if he actually brought in any of his naturalize effects. That Monk Realist would be very useful right now.
Yes. But here's a second Astral Slide, if the first one wasn't already fun enough to deal with.
I mean, the good news is your creatures at least have enter the battlefield triggers. Two of them at least. And I think it would be a little scary for him to just allow you to have a Varaf Shapeshifter come back, especially if you untap. Because then you can go fetch up something that would have an enter the battlefield trigger. And I don't know how I feel about that for him.
4, 2, and 8.
But he may have to do that considering...
Yeah. You've got to do this, so he doesn't die here.
You're good.
All right, now you're coming across just for the 2 there.
Yep.
I will have 2 turn. This comes back. I'll Palinchron and return 7 and untap 7.
Yep. So there's what you're saying. After sliding a Palinchron and untapping, so.
And then, you did not have anything scary off that Varaf Shapeshifter. Which is perfectly fine there.
So I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana at this point. I did see a birds in my hand that I drew for that bird, so I can use that. Use that in the turn and find something else scary. At this point, I could grab the third of Aura Shapeshifter I have in this list, and then if I do hardcast that one, it will work with the Hypnox because I'm casting the Shapeshifter from hand. So I bet that's what I probably grab at the end of turn here. That is also assuming I have the third one. I think we've only seen 2 so far, from what I remember.
Now, and I'm not an hFEB player at all, but if you discard the birds, go get Tog, discard Tog, go get Shapeshifter. You can activate the Shapeshifter you have, exile the Tog and the birds, then you have a Hypnox on top, and then you can very safely cast that and exile his hand.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that's what I have to do here. Okay.
Looks like
I just hold on. Hold on, or I just haven't figured that piece out yet. Like kind of like you said, I am not normally an hFEB player either, so this day was very much a learning experience for me through all these lines. It's a very complicated deck.
Now, I will say it is smart to exile the Varaf Shapeshifter, not even just because it's a Hypnox at the moment, but because if you do not block it, a line you can take is you can actually go get Phyrexian Devourer, discard it to go get another creature, and as long as you have another green mana open, then you can just activate the Devourer several times. But before the ability is resolved, then you discard that card, and you have like a Birds of Paradise. So then you just have a flying 23/23.
Yes.
Nothing happens. Yeah, you're good.
All right, let's see what he's got here. Looks like we're getting an Exalted Angel, maybe?
Yeah, that's what that looks like. Which will definitely put a stunt on my attacking in the air here.
Yes. It looks like he's going to play that creature face down. Now, the downside to that will, of course, be the fact that he'll have to use one of the blink effects on that to bring it back.
Looks like I see a Renewed Faith, a Decree of Justice, and a couple lands in there as well. I'm not sure what that green card is on the top of his hand right now.
That's a Cartographer, which is a creature when it enters, you can return a land from your graveyard to your hand. So with 2 Astral Slides in play, he can keep lands in his hand pretty much for it. Well, at the rate of 1 a turn. And there's a Cartographer. It is returning probably the step because he's got white mana open, and now he can cycle on his turn, exiling the photographer and the...
I don't think he did.
Yeah. Yep. And that was me pointing out that the karmic guide from last turn, we forgot to pay for it.
Cast that and you play that.
So we'll just kill it.
Okay.
So I think,
It
yeah.
just hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even
Yeah.
think.
I
So
mean, that is the
yeah.
appropriate ruling. Like, you check to see if the trigger goes in the stack at the point. You want the
Yeah,
echo
and
trigger to go on the stack. He can't do it.
Yeah, it's like an element. Yeah. And I asked him, and that's what you're saying. Is it's like, you play this and you play this. If we want to take any of those back and pay for that, I'm cool with that. As you can see, there's been a million things going on in this game, so it's just there's so much going on. So it looks like now he's using his Astro Slides to attack.
He's electing to be the beatdown, which is...
Yeah, that's fair. He also needs in this game as well.
Yeah. Yeah, this game has gone long.
Oh yeah.
And this is only game 2, so he would need to be able to get to game 3 as well. So I do not hate the plan of trying to turn the corner there.
Yeah.
Cycle survival.
So you've heard cycling so much that you've decided to just start calling it that yourself.
Yeah.
Alright, now you're going to go get the Psychotog here because you're a smart magic player, right?
I hope so.
Actually, it's pulled up.
It's at the front of my deck right now.
I was only giving you grief for fun, but there's the Psychotog. Why are you shuffling?
I think just pure muscle memory at this point.
I mean, the number of times I have myself... Oh, you also have Unearth. You could unearth the Psychotog as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could cast the Tog. That is the other thing. Like...
Yeah. Not something that happens all the time, but yeah. Hardcast, Psychotog here.
Of the cards we've seen you cast this round, this is one of the least... terrible.
Mm-hmm. So in this spot, I'm also attacking... yeah, it's a Birds of Paradise. So it's kind of a thinly veiled Hypnox still, as I can just eat the birds and the Spirit Guide to make the Hypnox the top card. So a little tricksy way there as well.
We're going to cycle this Renewed Faith and exile 2 of your creatures. I'm betting it's...
Yeah.
Yeah, those 2.
Yep, it's the same culprits that's been the last 4 times or so. And it makes sense.
2 life and then loses 2 life.
Yep.
So that makes that a wash. You're just untapping your phased out creatures.
Yeah, you know. They're coming back soon. So...
And,
yeah, so this is me not playing back then. Yeah, this is me not playing back then going, no, instead, I do not want to do that.
Yes.
This comes back. I will untap islands.
What, you didn't want to let him blink his angel and triggers cartographer?
No. I'm a nice guy, but not that nice.
Yes. and I'm also a little iffy on you being a nice guy in general, but...
Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Now, I will say, though, all joking aside, that interaction of whenever any player cycles a card made Astral Slide Mirrors a right nightmare back in the day.
I can believe that. It's like, I know just from playing this game that it's like, okay, this Astral Stride card is quite a headache to deal with, so I can't imagine if both players have it and both players want to be using it. Just how much of a nightmare that had to be.
It could be anything.
Well, I couldn't remember, man.
And let's also be honest. This
Zombie cutthroat.
don't all green white players just wish that Eternal Witness was in this format so you could just slide
I
back
know.
in and out?
Oh, then, yeah, we would just be doing this for the rest of the time.
I would be doing this for the rest of the time. Are you kidding me, brother? I would be off Enchantress immediately and only playing slide dirtle nonsense. I know it's terrible, don't get me wrong, but it's fun.
But yeah, just me taking 6 right on the chin. So I am gonna have to start finding a way through this because I'm down to 11 at this point, and it's getting pretty hairy out here.
All right, looks
There's
like you
me.
might be thinking through.
Yeah, Cabal Therapy, having no earthly clue what the name and
I'll respond.
do I flash this back?
All right, looks like that's going to be maybe that Decree of Justice.
Yeah.
Cycling a decree of justice.
Sure.
And so trigger, I'll blink the same two.
I will return this to my hand.
Okay.
Or not after.
All right, so you return that to your hand. Makes perfect sense. That way you can
Draw.
have a creature
Yeah.
in your hand for the survival.
Yeah. Yes. So I can go grab.
Swords and Plowshares.
Okay, so I named swords here. See that the coast is clear, so
Yeah.
he's not able to cycle anything at this point. Yeah.
I will cycle counter card. With survival.
Okay.
Don't say cycling.
And still me cycling with
Yeah.
Yep, me calling. Yeah, getting called out on it too.
Yeah. And the good news for you here is that you have 4 cards in the graveyard other than the Hypnox, so you can clear out around it.
Yes.
I will activate this twice. Eat these 4. So it's +2/+2.
Is that until end of turn?
Yes, until the turn. I'll take 2. I will cast Throw Ash Shapeshifter.
And there's you catching that line.
It'll be a Hypnox.
Yep. So there is me.
If I played it from my hand, I remove all cards from target player's hand. So I'll remove every card from your hand.
Okay.
And then,
Yep.
good for you, you have a card in hand, so if you need to activate that Psychotog,
Yeah, that. And you have that. Pass
you can
this
make that
one.
not a Hypnox.
Yep.
So he will lose
So
his
now
hand forever.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And now I have 2 Hypnoxes with those 2 Valor Shapeshifters. So this just made it where he is more or less out of the cycling cards. Obviously, if he finds one on top, which it looks like he did with Kurskin Tusker,
He did find that
we're
tough.
still kind of in the game, but it's just me cutting off more and more of the lines that he has
Oh yeah.
available to.
Yeah, you have to, when you're playing your terrible beatdown plan, which, as we said earlier, plan F.
We are very much in there. We are in that spot right now.
Yeah. This may have been the longest hFEB matchup I've ever seen.
Oh,
Or at least
for
this
sure.
game.
So that,
Yeah.
that way it's connected,
So that's
Okay, you guys are notating which
Yes.
Hypnox has his hand.
Yes.
So he is going to cycle this Tusker, targeting
cycle a Tusker.
there, and you are absolutely going to discard one of the cards in your hand.
Yeah.
That Psychotog is about to get activated. Yes, it is Austin. Please remember doing that.
I do. Don't worry.
Okay.
I think it's just me deciding which card it's going to become.
I will pitch a card to Psychotog. Just discard a card from your hand.
Oh,
Get
okay.
plus 1. These will come back. They do not come back because this is not a Hypnox anymore.
Yep. It's like those are now unearthed.
Yeah, it is now a Valor Shapeshifter, a 0/1. It says pay 2,
Yep.
discard a card.
Yep.
I have no basics.
Alright, he's out of basics.
Technically search first and then draw, right?
You can put it on the stack either way because they both hit the stack at the same time. So you can stack them either way.
Yeah, there's 9 basics.
So I
1,
think-
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yep.
And I'm sure the 9th one is in.
Discard, draw card, cycle.
Probably in hand. Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
search is on
I
top.
believe you
The
search
search
first.
Yeah.
solves for
And you guys are having a debate.
Or-
If I remember correctly, it is search first, then draw. You have to do it in that order.
It is search first and draw. I think we may have said it incorrectly on stream there, but yeah, I think we talking through it right now. I think we said it's search first and draw.
Yeah, I'll block.
Do this before you draw.
So this is a 2/3 for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Because I pitched a card.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just yeah.
And you being a good guy there, make sure that
cartographer doesn't just get eaten for no
Yeah.
reason.
Or go to,
Yeah.
Um,
Now,
good.
this is
Yeah.
unfortunate for
Yeah.
him because we're about to see double.
the
What?
interplay, correct?
Yes,
As-
there we go.
Yes, under control.
Yeah.
All right, so they both are karmic guides.
Yeah.
So I'll
Yep.
have 2 triggers of karmic guide as well.
Well, we're hoping that he.
Or this is like that. This is under. Graveyard order matters here.
Yes.
Yep.
I am.
I heard Ben talking to me in my head as I said that too.
I am proud of you for remembering that graveyard order matters.
Yep. So it looks like I decided to leave Hypnox in the yard. That way I can make both of my shapeshifters a Hypnox, and instead of just having the one, I have 2.
3, 4, 5. I will pay for karmic guide.
So I'm paying for Karmic Guide.
And then you get to discard a card and exile it immediately with that Psychotog.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
kind of push.
With these.
Yep. So
So we're on the hope we don't have a slide.
I will
Enabler, discard.
for that, eat these 2, they'll become hypnosis. So 10.
yep. And so then I'm attacking for 10, unblocked.
And
Yep.
there
And
we
it's
go.
huge.
There
Crazy
we
close
go.
games. It's great.
Oh. That was a hard fought.
It does work
A
out.
hell of a
It
weird
says all
battle.
new cards.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
In parentheses, do
This is
not
not
include
the
cards.
normal hFEB way, like you said. It's game plan F, if not even, I don't know, double F. But
Yeah.
Trigger happens before you draw
you
the
scrape and you claw sometimes to get there.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
All right. Well, congratulations on your victory there.
2-0
But that's gonna be it for us
That game 2 was like 35
here
minutes.
Yeah.
with the Ohio River bonus. But we'll be
Once I
back
landed that second astral slide, I was
later
fine.
with more
Like,
pre-modern content
I
from
just
Through the
had a
Decades in
trust-
Louisville, Kentucky.
I mean,